And so for me, like, I don't want to express myself through words. I want my actions to do the talking.
Pete Carroll knows how to coach. I was very hard on him during the last few years of Russ and Pete Carroll. I was clearly wrong.
I don't know why there's a question mark on that thing. It should be an exclamation point. Nick still thinks Seahawks will win the division.
All right, guys, let's zero in on the Seattle Seahawks. This season, they're shaping up to be a genuine Super Bowl dark horse, and I'm here to break it down for you. Last season, I counted this Seahawks team out, especially when Russell Wilson packed his bags over to the Denver Broncos. I knew Russell Wilson was washed, but Geno Smith leading this team, I had low expectations. I said the Seahawks are going to win 4 to 5 games. They're going to have the number 1 draft pick, but somehow they pulled off a 9-8 record and earned their playoff spot. And that is when I realized, that is when I hopped on the Seahawks bandwagon immediately. This year, I've gone all in on this team. I've bet them to clinch a playoff spot, the biggest bet I made all season. And to add to that, I had a little friend who said that the Seahawks can't win 6 games this year. Bet him $100. That's going to win in a couple weeks probably, and it shows that this Seahawks team deserves more respect. It all starts with QB Geno Smith. The man's journey with the Seattle Seahawks is nothing short of a career resurgence. I caught a podcast, I think it was Richard Sherman, where Geno was talking about honing his skills, crediting his time shadowing Russell Wilson and Phillip Rivers with the Chargers. The Geno we're seeing now, he's not the rookie from 2013. He's not the early career Geno Smith. He's living up to the hype that he was drafted in the 2nd round from West Virginia. Had you asked me a year ago who the Seahawks QB would be this year, I would have said Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson. But now, Geno is stamping his mark as the QB of the Seahawks. He is nearly throwing 70% completion rate, boasting 42 passing touchdowns, a mere 16 picks when he's starting as the Seahawks quarterback. The man's accuracy is on point and he's keeping those turnovers in check. Next up, let's spotlight head coach Pete Carroll. At 72 years old, the oldest head coach in the NFL, is energetic as hell. It's unmatched, leading his squad to victories with that same zest. Many argue he's comfortably nestled in the top 5 coaches in the league. Shift your gaze over to the Seattle's offensive arsenal, arguably among the NFL's elite. You got the likes of wide receivers DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba, lighting it up at wide receiver. And let's not forget about Jake Bobo. Where did this guy come from? He's like Puka Nacua 2.0. I picked him up on my Dynasty League. He is dazzling, especially with those catches against the Cardinals. Like, oh my God, man. And then you got tight end Noah Fant. And if you trust Pro Football Focus, this guy is sitting top 5 tight ends in the league. They are hammering the run, minimal turnovers. Kenneth Walker is steadily climbing the RB ranks, and if injuries had not held him back last year, I think he would have won Offensive Rookie of the Year last season. And then you add in Zach Charbonnet from UCLA, just ups their game with the offensive run power. And then you got Geno Smith just orchestrating it all. And before we move on to the defensive side of the football, if y'all could do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button, RFF to the moon, trying to escape the Matrix, and take this YouTube channel full time, guys. Appreciate y'all. Now, let's move over to the defensive side of the football. This defense is top 10 defense in the league, allowing just under 20 points per game. And sure, they might not be the Legion of Boom that we had hoped, Legion of Boom 2.0, but they're carving their legacy under Pete Carroll's vision. They have significantly improved from last season, and why is that? They drafted Devon Witherspoon from Illinois. This guy, we at Real Friends in Football dubbed him as the easy, no-brainer cornerback 1. He's way better than everyone else in his draft class. And if Pro Football Focus rankings are anything to go by, surprisingly, he is number 1 in the league right now. Number 1 cornerback as a rookie. And his style, man-on-man coverage, This guy's physical. This is exactly the corner that you want to have on your team. It's beautiful. And add to the mix, we got Tariq Woolen, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, Julian Love. You might be looking at a top 5 secondary in the NFL. But wait, there's more. The return of Bobby Wagner, Hall of Famer. He brings invaluable leadership and sorely missed last season, and his presence now is a game changer to the defense. And all right, guys, let's address the elephant in the room, the situation with the 49ers. 2 consecutive losses, and they might be without their quarterback, Brock Purdy. The 49ers seem to be on a shaky ground, opening the door for the Seahawks to swoop in and claim the division. Exactly what I predicted. And just imagine, guys, a playoff opener at Lumen Field with the 12s. There's no denying it. The Seahawks fans rank up with one of the best fan bases in the NFL. Top 3. The atmosphere is electric, and experience a game there is on my bucket list, guys. I'm from Texas. I want to go to Lumen Field. I just hear great things about that stadium. In the current landscape, though, it seems to boil down to the 49ers and the Seahawks to win the NFC West. And even if the Seahawks, guys, if they fall short, they're still going to make the playoffs. It doesn't matter. Like, this team is a top 5 team, if not higher. We're talking about teams like the Cowboys, the Eagles, the 49ers, the Lions, and then of course we got the Seahawks. They're all kind of in that mix. And let's not forget, guys, everyone's talking about the Lions. The Lions are the hype. Oh my God, this Seahawks team beat them in Detroit. So they are better than the Lions, but the freaking Lions are getting all of the hype around the media. Regardless of where the season lands for the Seahawks, there's a buzz of anticipation about the team's trajectory. And as a fan, how can you not be thrilled? Let's look at the young talent on this roster. We got the names of DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith and Jigba out of Ohio State, Kenneth Walker. This guy's like a top 10 running back in the league. Tariq Woolen, and then you got Devon Witherspoon, guys. Like, this has so much potential to be a great team for years to come. And then you got Pete Carroll, undoubtedly a top 5 NFL coach steering the ship. The future looks promising for this team, guys. When it all looked like down south, when you're losing Russell Wilson, goes over the Broncos. They are just falling to the death. And then we got the Seahawks out of nowhere, just still riding it high. And perhaps the 2024 NFL draft might be where the Seahawks kind of look for that, new future quarterback. Learn from the ropes of Geno Smith, but hey, that's just my 2 cents. Anyways, I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. Drop them in the comments. And to the Seahawks fans out there, are you all in on this team? Let me know who I missed. Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for tuning in to Real Friends in Football. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this.